11 to 28 from three, 37%. It's actually not too bad. Eric Gordon had a nice half with 15 points. And Harden had 12. Not atrocious. He got to the foul line enough. He was only -6, but yeah, that Westbrook -17, and he was a big part of why the Houston Rockets, normally what their formula is they only take shots at the rim, so their 2-point percentage is usually awesome. But no, 39% from two. And I also thought that LeBron James defensively had a couple of slip-ups early, but he was really deterring a lot from this team at the rim. And, you saw Westbrook, Gordon, just nobody wanted to try him, which maybe they should try him a little bit more. Like, he's not, the greatest shot blocker in NBA history, but just getting his body there and just there's something about him defensively, even when he's not challenging shots. Like, guys are always aware that the king is right there and ready potentially. Even when, he's really more of a shot blocker on the move with those chase down blocks, more than like a 2-foot rim protector, but guys just feel him anyway.
And I emphasized this a lot in our post-game one podcast. The Lakers had, I think it was in the 80s, their offensive rating in just half-court possessions. They have a 132.4 offensive rating in half-court possessions, and they're only in the half-court for 68.5% so far, partially because of all those Rockets turnovers and because they've been running a ton. They've run on more. The Lakers have run on more than half of their live rebounds so far.
So apparently YouTube is fucked up here. Hold on a second. 23 watching now. That can't be right. Let me try restarting this. Yeah, so we're done on YouTube. All right, let me. I'm gonna just.
Oh, we're back. We're back now.
On YouTube?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, okay. Wonder what happened there. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what the hell happened there. Maybe my internet just cut out for a second or something. But new stream, baby. We're back. And also, that's a great time to tell you about our friends at bookies.com. The halftime line, the Lakers leading by 16. The final line now is Lakers -15. The over-under is 227.5. Rockets money line is plus 850. Of course, bookies.com, a great place to get all of your betting information with their live updating odds, expert picks, and great deals to click through to legal betting in your state. Follow them on Twitter as well, at bookies.
Let's see. We lost questions. Apologies for that because of the restart. From Patrick Hines, if you had absolute control, do you consider benching Westbrook for the second half? They don't have a ton of options. I would not. I mean, Westbrook is so important to what they do, and they don't really have other options. And I don't know what sending a message does. Are you going to tell Russell Westbrook to be something other than what he is?
Yeah, I mean, the Rockets don't tell anyone to be something other than what they are unless it's a role player. All right, we're back here. Gordon screening for Harden with LeBron starting on him. Nice pocket pass by one of the greatest pocket passes ever. But Westbrook trying to attack AD. And you see how the ball movement just fizzles when it gets to Westbrook because they're not guarding him. But Gordon left wide open really for no reason, I thought.
The reason was that JaVale McGee was on him.
Yeah, that's probably it. Interesting. Like, I think Dwight Howard is better than JaVale McGee personally, but
I agree.
Howard did struggle with fouls in game one. AD in the post against Gordon as they switch that LeBron AD pick and roll. Gordon gets a hand on it. Can't believe the foul call.
And that is Gordon's second. A reminder to go through the foul trouble. PJ Tucker, of course, has 3. No Laker has more than 2, and the only one with 2 is Rajon Rondo, so they are totally fine right now.
And a tragedy for all of you who are big Waiters stands in the comments. He is out with a groin issue.
Oh, no.
And that's he had that issue earlier as well, so they don't switch this pick and roll with LeBron. It's JaVale. Almost traveled. Eric Gordon was looking at the referee, looking to call the travel, then doesn't run down. The ball hit off his own foot as he was looking at the referee calling a travel. Here's the double team on Harden. McGee just leaves him, though. He should have stayed out there and denied him. Now they got a double again. Gordon is wide open from deep. Oh, yeah. Eric Gordon, 2 straight threes, and it's a 10-point game all of a sudden. And JaVale McGee featuring prominently in both of those.
Right, they were both plays where he made some sort of mistake, and then the Rockets got an absolutely wide open three out of it by Eric Gordon, who's a very good shooter.
At least today he is. They're going back to the LeBron AD pick and roll again. LeBron with the tough step back, not a good shot. Good box out by Harden.
Define success. Like, you can get better shots than that.
Here's Westbrook. Sets up the corner three from Tucker. He went right at Anthony Davis, and that's 3 3-pointers in a row by Houston. 9-0 run, and they're right back in it, 67-60. And Will Vogel stay with JaVale McGee here. That one wasn't his fault, but maybe he needs to get to his best groups earlier.
And, I mean, that's also, from Anthony Davis, that's kind of big man instincts, just going in because a guy is driving. Westbrook didn't even have a real clear path to the basket there. AD comes over and helps and leaves a wide open corner shooter.
Also, something we'll have to keep an eye on is Jeff Green at halftime was down apparently for some time before going to the locker room after taking that shot below the belt from AD. So we'll have to keep an eye on whether he's available or not. I haven't seen anything about that on Twitter. And Eric Gordon now leading all scorers with 21 points, 6 of 9 from 3. And PJ Tucker with that flurry is now a game best plus. Oh, I'm sorry. Rajon Rondo is a game best plus 17. Among the starters, PJ Tucker is a game best plus 13.
How would you assess Vogel's adjustments since game one? I think that they've done, the defensive stuff of not defending Harden the atrocious way that they did at the beginning of game one. I think that is a definite improvement. And a lot of their mistakes defensively in this, like what hasn't gone well for the Lakers defensively, has been mistakes that you kind of can't ideally you could coach it up, like JaVale McGee leaving his guy, waiters having brain farts, like those sorts of things, rather than some sort of scheme malady. And offensively, I still think they need to do more to find mismatches and attack them. The Rockets will concede those, though the Rockets have been better at not conceding them in this game.
Yeah, how does Tucker get so many open corner threes? Because there is no big man under the basket, and so it just makes the rotations a lot harder. I think the teams that play the Rockets should really be more attuned to having someone rotate down to the corner when Harden drives. We talked about that a little bit on the pod after, I guess it was yesterday's pod after game one. But I mean, because the floor is spaced out, if you get any kind of penetration, the help has to come from the low man who's usually guarding PJ Tucker. And then Houston designs their offense a lot of times so that on a drive, Tucker's man has to help, and then he's wide open in the corner.
So there was a comment that JaVale is significantly more mobile, and that's true, but mobility really matters if you use it well. It doesn't necessarily matter just in the abstract, and if you leave your guy wide open, then it doesn't matter if you can get back there faster as much. He did have that nice recovery on a Russell Westbrook play, but that's a little bit different.
Do you think it was a surprise the Houston OKC series went to 7? I had it in 6 once we found out that Westbrook wasn't going to play. I think if he had been 100%, it would have looked a lot better. All right, here we are back. Oh no, sorry, this is just a little diagram. I should know that the Rockets are not going that direction in this half. So not a huge surprise, but I think the Rockets outplayed them pretty substantially in the series. But OKC won all of the clutch games except the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, so it wasn't totally stunning, especially if you had heard if we knew kind of some of the health details. But I was a little bit frustrated that Houston wasn't pressing their advantages as much. But we talked about that a lot in the pod.
Yeah, and Houston's defense was great in that series. Here's LeBron at the elbow. They're going to screen for KCP. Now AD posting up, misses the floater as Tucker did well to recover. Houston looking to cut in to extend the 9-0 run. Kuzma, as JaVale is out of the game, and Kuzma with the big rejection as Harden threw it up there hoping for the foul.
Yeah, and remember that was one of the big stories of game one was Kyle Kuzma's abysmal defense.
Now Harden, as they just straight double team him in the corner. Here's the drive by Gordon going through Kyle Kuzma, who has really struggled to deal with Gordon. And why are they going to double team James Harden in the corner? Like, can Danny Green just not guard him? Like, we haven't seen him try that. Back to goal for LeBron against Gordon. Look at Tucker coming over to help. He does. LeBron looking for AD. Oh, Covington sloughed off of Kuzma in the corner to make a great play. Now Westbrook has Tucker. Tucker not going to shoot it on the move. They get it back to Harden. Harden.
What was really... Oh, sorry. I'll break it up after.
Here comes Green looking to double again. Harden gets room on the step back. Hits it. James Harden, another three. Danny, this is a 14-0 Houston run in less than 3 minutes. Now it's AD against Harden. He ate in that matchup in game 1. Goes right through him for the dunk and one. They couldn't get Tucker back to guard him.
That worked out well for the Lakers, but a point I want to bring up from both of these post-ups, the LeBron one and the AD one, zero movement from anybody other than the guy posting up. You're not creating any passing windows. You're not creating any advantages. Any eyeballs aren't looking at anything, and that's especially egregious with LeBron because LeBron is such an unbelievable passer. Do something.
Yeah, the way AD got that post-up was the Lakers love to do this. A lot of teams do, but the Lakers are the best in the league at it. When AD contests a jump shot as he misses another free throw, he'll sprint down the floor, and Harden had to pick him up. Gordon gets the matchup on Kuzma, tries to draw the foul, does so. 3 free throws forthcoming for Eric Gordon to bring the Rockets within 1.
And we're seeing after one block of James Harden that Kyle Kuzma might be turning back into the pumpkin he was in game 1.
Yeah, and that one, I mean, once the guy is landed, I mean, you know I hate that call, but that's the way it's called. It's the but I mean, he's landed already, and he's really stopped his forward momentum. The rule really kind of is, as Gordon misses the first free throw, is, you know, if you have any kind of forward momentum at all, and the guy jumps forward into you, it's a foul on you. I didn't even think that Kuzma had forward momentum when the contact took place at that point.
Yeah. And that one went in, but it was front rimmed by Eric Gordon.
I think that's another one where just have the default be that it's not a foul. Like, just give the defender the benefit of the doubt on that play. Gordon, wow, short on all of those. Only one, so ball kind of don't lie. Here's LeBron going at Gordon. Good closeout from Westbrook to force the drive from Green. Corner 3, Davis. Big shot as Green set it up, and the Lakers restoring order momentarily. Now it's Kuzma matched up on Harden already. Harden looking to attack him. No look pass. Good closeout from LeBron on Tucker in the corner. Now here's Gordon crossing over. Cut off nicely by Green. Tries to get the floater. Tucker beat LeBron easily for that layup. LeBron did not box out in the corner, although he was slightly impeded by Green getting knocked down. KCP going to try Covington. Try draw the foul. Oh, Kuzma went right in. I think that was Harden who missed the box out. No, it was Westbrook.
Yeah, Harden went over to sort of contest, and Westbrook never boxed him out.
Harden on the step back against Kuzma. Oh, he's got a couple of those now. Now maybe is when you start to bring some of those double teams, because they don't have a defender. Like, they don't have a defender on him right now who can do anything. They've got Danny Green trying to put out the Gordon fire. Here's LeBron. He lost it. He's complained to the referees. Well behind the play. Harden looking to attack Westbrook. Oh, Westbrook was not expecting it. And Danny Green with the fall down on the loose ball.
Is that on PJ? Who did they call
I think they got
on?
Westbrook there.
Yeah, they did. So that is Russell Westbrook's third personal foul, potentially relevant.
I mean, that Harden doesn't even really have to make a move on that step back. He didn't even really step back at all. 2 screens for LeBron. They don't switch this. LeBron going into Westbrook, can't get the call. Kuzma is all day open. And Harden did not exactly have the same urgency to his closeout on that one as he did against Lou Dort in Game 7. Double team coming now from KCP. Covington is there. He'll try to load it up. That's the right pass to Gordon in the corner. Swing it to Tucker. Good close from LeBron. He's had a couple nice closeouts, but Covington is open for his 3. And man, the Rockets, we saw this in the OKC series. they just get on fire, it seems like, in the third quarter from 3-point range.
Yeah, and there was also a nice kind of side screen there from Russell Westbrook to try to stop LeBron, but he still got out there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who was guarding Robert Covington on that play. They had everyone locked up, so they should have been matched. AD with the shove to the face on Tucker, no call. A lot of contact being let go here, except for that one, as Westbrook. No, what are they going to get here? They just a non-shooting foul?
I think LeBron's mad that it's a non-shooting foul.
He might have a case, actually. I think he saw Westbrook's arm come out. You know what, Danny? I mean, I haven't seen LeBron ever really do this kind of bullshit play. Like, it is very rare that he'll go for that.
And that is the fourth on Russell Westbrook.
Might be a good thing.
Well, but I mean, D'Antoni's he's probably gonna pull him quickly so that Westbrook can still be on the court when Harden sits, because I don't think you want to change Harden's rotation because of Westbrook's foul trouble.
Yeah, this is when he normally would be hitting the bench anyway, and Westbrook
Right.
is in fact out of the game. He was about 34 minutes in game one. I think that's where they're going to try and have him coming off of that quad injury. But LeBron with 3 throws here, but misses that one. Lakers are low on timeouts as well, with only 3 remaining. So if they wanted to use a challenge or use another timeout to stop a run, they'll be left with fewer than 2, going under 2 minutes if this game is close at the end, or under 3 minutes, I should say. Another missed free throw from LeBron, so his free throw performance matches that of Eric Gordon's three throws. Harden attacking on Kuzma, and Danny Green reaching in from the elbow picks up the foul. See if this is going to be a shooting foul. Yeah, it looks like he'd picked the ball up, so they're probably going to give it to him.
Yeah, they are. And that's only the second team foul, but if they call it a shooting foul, he still gets free throws anyway.
Harden, a more reliable free throw shooter than LeBron James. And it was interesting that LeBron started off both halves on Harden, but quickly they moved to another alignment. Wow, man, nobody can hit a free throw in this quarter.
Yeah, overall for the game right now, the Rockets 10 of 14, the Lakers 7 of 12. And all of the Lakers' free throws have been taken by their 2 best players, Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Looked like a pretty clean strip from Green on the replay. Back to a 3-point game. And so it does look like this is the tipping point for Vogel, where he's just probably not going to play a traditional big the rest of the way. We'll see Markieff Morris. I guess this is a traditional big as LeBron misses the 3-pointer. AD looking to post up Covington. Tucker comes over and gets him. Now the drive from Kuzma, just lost it off his own foot. Harden has Tucker on his left, looking to try Kuzma again. Kuzma tries to flop. That sets up another Tucker wide open corner 3, and that one misses. That could have tied it. Now it's Danny Green, his 3-pointer. Way short. Covington bothered him. Now it's Harden. And his pass to House was too late. He's got to throw that earlier, and House has a dunk.
I think Harden also traveled before he threw that pass. They don't call that one often, though.
AD fronted by Tucker. Help comes over from Covington. Covington leaves. Good defense. No advantage gained. Kuzma on the drive. Tucker stepping over, but too late.
Ooh, some ferocity from Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, and Covington had come over to the near side to take away the AD post-up, but did not get back out there. They double-team Gordon now. They are really trying to help out Kuzma. Covington, tough footwork in the corner. Yes, and it counts on Danny Green.
And so now Robert Covington is up to, he's 9 points, 3 of 7 from 3 so far in this game, and this will be his first free throw of the game.
Good ball movement. Again, Houston has done a pretty good job here of decision-making off of these drive and kick sequences. They really struggled with that earlier this year when the whole double-team Harden approach started happening, but that's when they had Capella out there as well. They didn't have as much spacing.
And they also got more passing on the floor, generally speaking. Even though Covington's not the best at that, it just did open things up. Okay, let's get to some of your questions. Is that 3 fouls on Danny Green? It is. That is Danny Green's third. He has 3, Kuzma has 2, Rondo has 2, Westbrook has 4, PJ Tucker has 3, and Jeff Green has 3. From Bruno Vuru, Lakers are 57% from 3 and 55% from the free throw line. Yeah, that is definitely. I think they're now at 58, but yeah, they've had some real struggles from there.
Yeah, and Houston, I mean, that's both teams are shooting lights out from 3. 11 to 21 for the Lakers, 18 to 36 now for Houston.
Oh, that's a question from Dan Plunkett. Where can you email you guys for the pricing on Dunked on Prime? It's dunkedonprime@gmail.com, right?
Yes, it is. And we'll get back to you within a couple of days at minimum of the launch, which happens, of course, on September 8th.
Let's see. What is your pick in Boston, Toronto? Thoughts going into Game 5? We talked about this at length on the podcast that we did an unusual Saturday night podcast, and I think we're both picking Celtics in 7, right?
Yeah, I think sticking with what it was beforehand.
If the Raptors win Game 5, is the series over? No, not at all. I mean, these two teams are very evenly matched. They're playing on a neutral site, and I don't think either team winning Game 5, it makes them the heavy favorites, but it doesn't end the series at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's been another series that wasn't. I don't even know if this has ever happened with a 2-3-2 actually, where it went. The one team won 2 games. Then the other team won 3 games, and the other team won 2 games again. It's happened in baseball, but it's not, I don't think, to my recollection, I don't think it's happened in basketball.
Where can we get the calendar for the next cast? Nate and I haven't talked yet about when we're going to do the next cast. So when there is a calendar you can follow. I think we've tweeted out the link there. But
yeah.
we don't.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know what the next podcast is going to be. So we don't know. So we
well, we know what the next podcast is going to be. That's going to be in about an hour. But
live show.
Yeah. I mean, I think I kind of want to do Boston Toronto Game 5, but I think we've done this, and I did 2 on my own too. I think we've done this like 7 out of the last 8 days, including 2 solo shows. So.
And I think we'll most definitely do Game 6, so we'll see.
That's true. I guess probably what I'll do, I think tomorrow is watch that game, and then maybe I'll fire it up for like the 4th quarter or something. I guess we could both fire it up for the 4th quarter if we wanted to.
I'll be around.
Because I mean now you don't have to come over anymore. This is much easier.
How about the Raps transitioning from perennial chokers to team that can't be counted out? I mean, they're a great defensive team now. That really helps, and they have a great coach, and they don't have DeMar DeRozan. It's a notable transition. Oh, Heat Celtics people are bringing up as in the East Finals in 2012 as an example of what you were talking about.
Yes, it is. Yeah, great call. Yeah, I'd forgotten that the Heat won the first 2 in that series. Which I shouldn't have, because we just talked about that series maybe 8 or 9 months ago. So yeah, the Rockets, I mean, they had a series where they hit of 8 straight made 3-pointers in the OKC series, in a game they eventually lost in Game 4, and now they've made 7 of 8 here.
And whether PJ Tucker picks up his 4th in this quarter will be a huge question.
LeBron is on the bench now. Rondo not being guarded as Ben McLemore is in to get some more shooting on the floor. And maybe that's because Jeff Green isn't available. Here's Rondo with the dare you 3. Did not hit that. Harden looking to push it up against KCP. He's got the size advantage if he wants to get the step back. Instead, no, he wants Kuzma. They'll double team. Swing it to Covington. McLemore gives it up. Covington over Caruso. Yes, again. That's 8 for 9, and Houston has its first lead since what? Maybe ever.
First quarter.
9 to 8, they tell us. AD against Tucker. They want to switch off the ball against that screen out of the corner. AD double teamed by Covington. Rondo, that's twice now he hasn't been guarded. Caruso on the drive. Covington, what a rejection!
And remember, Covington has been a great shot blocker in these playoffs, huge help defender. That is the first block for the Houston Rockets in this entire game. The Lakers only have 3.
He's one of the best shot blocking small forwards I've ever seen. I mean, now he's not a small forward anymore, but and now he's going to take a seat. But having him guard Rondo really worked out well. Now AD going to try it against Tucker. Great contest by Tucker. Got the Shane Battier contest right in between his arms and his face. House does not set the screen. They want to go after Kuzma instead. Here's Harden on the attack. Into Kuzma. Fouled. And Jeff Green is back in the game, although he looks to be moving slightly gingerly.
And Kuzma does the swipe down, like a pretty wild swipe down. You're not gonna get that call. And he hit Harden's forearm.
Yeah, I mean, that was, maybe you could argue hand is part of the ball, but like, you've done your job. Like, he's in a tough position there. If you could just keep your chest on him, he's going to have a difficult shot. So McLemore replacing Rivers, who could not hit shots in the first. Man, Harden, a couple of missed free throws that could have extended this lead for the Rockets. Well, someone has a Devontae Kaycock jersey. Maybe it's got to be a family member of his, you would think, in the virtual stands.
I'm impressed that you could recognize that. I can't remember his number.
Well, I could read that it said Kaycock on there. House closing out on KCP. Rondo going to try and attack. Tough finish. Misses. Great job not fouling there. Harden looking to push it up again. He'll swing it. McLemore gets it to House. Drives on AD. On his old Texas A&M teammate, I think. I know they both went to Texas A&M. I'm not sure they played together. They must have, though, right? House and Caruso?
I think they did. And that was the second time House, maybe he would have gone for a bigger dunk in the past. Instead, beautiful layup. He had that one by LeBron in the first half.
Yeah, he's not quite as explosive as he used to be, but he's certainly matured as a player, particularly the three-point shot. I mean, was it only guess it's coming up on 2 calendar years ago that he was cut by the Warriors in camp
in favor of Alfonso McKinney. Okay, I'm looking up Caruso and House's teammates. You got me.
In the Warriors' defense, I was advocating for the same position. House didn't do much in that preseason, and I thought
he couldn't hit
McKinney
shots.
Was good.
So yes, they did play together 14-15 and 15-16. They were in the same senior class at Texas A&M, but House played 2 years at Houston before A&M.
Here's something we can tell you about bookies.com. And they are our good friends. Nice of them to support the program here. What they give you is the best information that you need for sports betting purposes, Danny.
Yeah, and if you want to look at, it's expert picks and those live updating sheets. Clippers over Nuggets is a pick for Mark Straubman for tomorrow, and Nuggets over Clippers for Thompson. So that'll be fun to watch.
Here's LeBron back in the game as the Vogel sense it slipping away. AD size advantage on House. Green with the double. Tough fader from AD goes down, but that's one I think Houston will live with. Rondo trying to up the intensity against Harden. He has the matchup. And good defense by Rondo. Man, when's the last time we saw that? He's going to lay it in. Not good enough from James Harden.
Yeah, Rondo's been trying to pick Harden's pocket a lot. He might have an idea of where his dribble cadence.
Well, and Rondo, I still think he could be a good defender when he tries. Now Harden wants to get it back. Asking for the screen. I think he should just go at him. How soon does Rondo
get a reaching foul?
Yeah, this is the hardest I've seen Rajon Rondo try on defense. These 2 possessions in about 6 years. And then Harden, that's the 3rd time that the LA Lakers have fouled him on that move, which is named after him by skill development coaches. Caruso gets him. He loves to help from the nail, as Harden looked to have taken some sort of a shot in that exchange with Rondo on the previous possession. But so the Rockets have had what? They had a 10-0 run just now in like less than 2 minutes. And at the start of the half, I think they had a 12-0 run in about 2 minutes. Let's see if we can catch what happens to Harden. Watch the right knee. He tries to cross over. Yeah, it looks like he banged the knee a little bit there. Seriously, I have not seen Rajon Rondo get into that much of a defensive stance since before he tore his ACL.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not arguing with that at all.
That was in 2013, in case you forgot.
Rick Carlisle remembers.
But he wasn't even on the Mavericks then.
I know, it was before that.
They don't switch the AD pick and roll. Now the back door. Beautiful play there as Tucker was trying to front AD, but he spun off of him, and not enough pressure on the passer there as well to just let him dime him up. Westbrook is back. Harden remains in the game. Westbrook back to goal against Caruso. Double team comes. This is house. Can't get it. So with Westbrook back in, Harden is going to sit shortly, you would imagine. Rondo, another dare three-pointer. Man, that's not even close. Now Harden double teamed by Caruso and Rondo. They get out of it. Westbrook on the drive, going right at LeBron and scores that time.
And that's the damaging part of the last possession about playing Rondo with LeBron, is that if the Rockets aren't going to guard him, LeBron's going to make that right pass, and it's going to short-circuit the Lakers' offense.
Davis going at Green. Tries to draw the foul. Does draw the foul.
And I believe that's Jeff Green's fourth. It is. But with a role player who's probably not going to finish the game, it doesn't matter as much to get your fourth with minute 20 to go in the third quarter. And we're seeing JaVale McGee walking to the tunnel. That might explain some of Frank Vogel's rotations, though you and I both would have less JaVale McGee anyway.
The Lakers say that he is experiencing left ankle pain and will not return. 8 minutes for him, and Dwight has not played. They still got Markieff Morris as well, and we'll see whether he can continue his nice performance in the first half. Davis hits that free throw. Go ahead, sorry.
And as Kevin Pelton noted, the Lakers have no fast break points in the third quarter.
Westbrook?
I guess Rondo steal has to be one.
Yeah. Here's McLemore on the move. He's really their only shooter who can shoot it like that, but missed that one. Now LeBron has Tucker behind him. Does a good job getting out to Markieff Morris. Here's the drive from Morris. Takes the tough mid-ranger. Not a good shot. Westbrook looking to push it, and they're getting a blocking foul in favor of Westbrook. 2 free throws coming for him.
And I don't even know. I don't care whether that should be a charge and anything. I didn't get a clean enough look at it. The NBA should make it that you cannot draw a charge in the backcourt. That's how Mo Spates injured Kevin Durant.
No, that's not true.
Isn't it?
Yeah, no, he was driving to the basket.
Oh, okay. But didn't KD get hurt on a charge? Anyway, I'm not going to get into that now. I know I saw an injury that happened. It might not have been Kevin Durant, though. Might have been Westbrook. I have to remember who that was. It happened at Oracle. Anyway.
Well, it's incredibly stupid, regardless of whether someone got hurt on it or not.
Right.
So to catch you up on some of the stats here, Houston, all of a sudden, I mean, that miserable start, particularly in the first, now with this crazy three-point shooting, 129 offensive rating for them. Lakers still 124. It's a very offensive game. Not what I was expecting. I thought this series would take on a more defensive bent. But when both teams are shooting the ball from 3 like this, you get those kind of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, both teams right now about 48%, 11 of 23 for the Lakers, 19 of 39 for the Rockets. And that's a huge bar. I mean, when you consider that the Lakers are shooting 48% from 3 and the Rockets are plus 24 in points off of three-pointers, and the Rockets also have more points off of free throws than the Lakers do, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, never a good sign for an opponent when James Harden has more free throw attempts than field goal attempts.
Yeah, it's a good little proxy.
And he's only got 1 2-point field goal in this game, but 3 of 6 from 3. He had that run, getting the step back going early, and now they're double teaming him, and that's really been their offense. So is this a challenge here? That must be why they're still showing it. If this gets overturned in his favor, I think it did, didn't it? Oh, man. I really hate basketball sometimes. Now they're still looking at it? What's going on here? It looked like they were, like everyone was resetting down on the other end, so I thought it was a foul. Yeah, referee's still on the monitor.
Is it possible that the Lakers called a timeout and they didn't kind of think that it was a challenge?
They don't have many timeouts left either.
No,
I believe if they either way, this is going to leave them with only, yeah, it is a challenge, but I believe this is going to give them a only one timeout left if this game goes under 2 minutes or under 3 minutes and it's close. Because they still have one more automatic that they have to take in the fourth quarter, either the under 7 or the under 3. I can't remember. I think it's the I can't remember which team has to take the first one in that quarter. Successful challenge.
And that's Russell Westbrook's fifth.
So I guess the Lakers lost the challenge in a way. So what they called there was that the ball became loose and then a loose ball foul on Russell Westbrook. He actually tried to pass it, lost the ball, and then ran over Rondo while the ball was loose. So with the Lakers in the bonus, this is actually going to be free throws for Rondo.
Yeah, it's not because it's not a charge. That's wow.
So 5 fouls on Westbrook, and Harden going to have to take a little seat here. This is maybe not where Rajon Rondo would like to be at the foul line. And he bricks the first. Rondo
becomes the first player other than AD and LeBron to take the first Laker other than those two to take a free throw in this game.
Yeah, he is famously free throw averse, but does make the second, bringing the Lakers within 1. So a 2-for-1 time here for the Rockets. Rondo bothering Westbrook again. High defensive effort from him. They want to screen for Gordon. Markieff switches onto it. Gordon between the legs. Green not ready to shoot it. They swing it around. And Rondo, again, great play there. And we'll see, though, that may reset the shot clock. That's the preliminary ruling.
Yeah, I think my personal feeling is that scorekeepers are way too aggressive, or I guess to be the clock managers, at a throw back into play as being a controlled touch. I think that should not reset the shot.
I mean, I'm sure that's what the rule is, but I agree with you in all fairness. Here's Westbrook taking the 3 early. Whoa, big shot from Westbrook. This is right in the period where he started hitting jump shots in game 1 and staked Houston to that big lead. Let's see if he can do it again. They didn't get the 2-for-1 there, though. I think he was trying for it, but only a 2-second differential. James gets the screen from Caruso to get Westbrook onto him. Westbrook shoved Caruso in the back. No call. And now James going right through, and Westbrook, James, so smart. He wouldn't normally go after Westbrook, but knowing that he had the 5 fouls, that's the guy he called for the screen on, and he went right past him. Westbrook didn't even compete.
And Gordon misses the three-pointer, the heave to end the third quarter. 92-90 is the score in favor of the Houston Rockets. They are 20 of 41 from 3. The Lakers are 11 of 23. And leading scorers so far, LeBron James overall, Eric Gordon for the Houston Rockets, 8 of 14 from the field, 6 of 10 from 3, 2 of 4 from the line. And worth noting, we talked about this early, PJ Tucker plus 23 in 24 minutes in a game that his team leads by 2.
I can't believe Rondo is really going to play 30 minutes this game. I mean, if he actually brings this level of defensive effort consistently, that takes away a big part of my concern about having him out there. Not all of it, because the fit with LeBron is not amazing. And of course, his shooting is a concern. He's missed a few there, but my bigger problem with him over the last few years has been I think he's a terrible defender, and so if he's actually going to try, that changes a lot. And also, I think every coach that he's had over the last few years has got to be watching this and being like, "Where the hell is this?" So 41-20 in that quarter, Danny.
Yeah. Do we check this, or do the questions come from Twitch? We take questions from everywhere. So if you that was from Periscope, we wherever they are, they're here. Apparently, Bontemps was in the chat briefly, which is fun because he's in the bubble. Let's see. Yep. If you have any questions, now's a good time because we don't really have any here.
LeBron looks really. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, in the unlikely but increasingly plausible scenario where the Lakers, Bucks, and Clippers all lose, who would be your favorite to win the title?
Here, I'm going to try and fix the stats right now, actually. They're kind of jacked up.
Okay, so in that hypothetical, we know 4 of the teams. So the Nuggets would be in, the Rockets would be in, and the Heat would be in. We wouldn't know in Raptors Celtics on the premise of the question. So by virtue of that, you can't make either of those teams the most likely champion. I would actually probably go with the Rockets. I think it would be interesting. Like if you were to tell me which of the Raptors and Celtics made it, I would probably pick them. But if we're running under the hypothetical that you don't know who wins that second round, I think I go with Houston.
LeBron can't rest again, right? I mean, it gets a lot tougher when they can't play big. I mean, they're just very limited now. And with even Waiters out, who they plan to have in the rotation. J.R. Smith, they don't trust. Howard, they don't trust. Markieff is going to have to be out there. Kuzma's been getting cooked every single time.
Somebody asked, where is Dragic in your 6-man rankings? First of all, he wasn't a 6-man he was during the regular season, but not right now. I mean, it's the challenge with Dragic. I don't think he was great during the regular season, especially the pre-bubble. He was, it was a less dominant year for him. If we were talking about best players who are 6th men, then he'd be high. We'd be very high in that conversation for me. But no, I think I don't think he was on my ballot. He probably would have been somewhere around 6th.
Yeah, I think I had Harrell 1. Well, I actually looked that up right now.
I had Derrick Rose 1, which nobody else seemed to agree with.
All right, well we're gonna be back here in a second. I'll address that. I know I had Harrell as number 1, and I know I had Kleba on my list, which I don't think anyone else did really, but that guy's good.
Oh, we can do this one quickly from Evil Monokuma. If the Rockets win this game, are they favorites to win the series? And I would say yes.
Yeah, I think you would have to say. Although certainly I would give the Lakers a solid opportunity. Jeff Green guarding his old Cleveland teammate, LeBron James. They want to go after Westbrook again. Same thing. They better get some help here. And Westbrook saying, yeah, I'm sending him left. Covington, you get up here to the elbow. And now LeBron just goes right through for the dunk anyway. And Russell Westbrook is looking at him and saying, hey, remember when I said get to the elbow? I sent him there. Why'd you go away? They get Caruso onto Westbrook. Help coming from Rondo at the top. They swing it. Gordon's 3 is open. A little short. That's the right pass, though. Now LeBron looking to attack after that big dunk on the previous possession. Is he going to hunt Westbrook again? They're in basically a zone here, it looks like, and now Westbrook is going to take Kuzma. Rondo setting the screen for LeBron. LeBron going into Green. Going the other way? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Green was ready against his old Cleveland teammate with that left to right spin that LeBron usually goes to in that situation. He did the right to left earlier to get open.
And that's it. That's right in the path. That was taking the hit in the chest, right in LeBron's path, even though he did kind of spin away from it. So yeah, I'm completely supportive of that call. And that was a risk for Jeff Green. Remember, Jeff Green has 4 fouls as well.
Trying to pressure up on Westbrook. He blows by Caruso right down the lane. Easy layup past Markieff Morris.
Markieff Morris, not the most adept help defender at the rim.
Used to actually not be that bad, but he may be about done. as a defensive player. Now he's going to go right through Westbrook again. Russell Westbrook, a bit of a defensive liability here. They've gone right at him 3 times in a row. Gordon. House on the drive. Kuzma switches onto him. They go for the driving kick sequence. Back to Westbrook. Westbrook pulling up on Caruso. Way short. Not a good possession. They've got Covington on Rondo because they want him to be able to help out. Caruso setting the screen. They want to go at Westbrook again. Rondo in an ISO on Westbrook pulls up and hits. Man, you probably need a guy to play a little better defense if Rajon Rondo is isolating on you. Yeah, remember this stretch as their defense is falling apart because Westbrook has 5 fouls. And to me, as there's another turnover, here's the alley-oop coming. Watch out. Whoa!
And Alex Caruso knows the passing angles on that for right now. Just throw it up in the right spot, and LeBron can get it one-handed.
And D'Antoni, he stayed with Westbrook because the Harden is out of the game. But like these units with Gordon were fine in the OKC series. Like Gordon, I know Gordon turned it over on that possession, but if Russell Westbrook is going to get scored on, I mean, look at that, a 35-year-old with his hand above the square for that dunk. It's just ridiculous that he is still this level of athlete at 35.
Shouldn't the Lakers have one less TO? The scoreboard has them with 2. No, that's because one of them is mandatory. So it hasn't technically been called yet, but it is unavailable for Vogel discretionarily.
Well, I mean, he can call it at some future time, but he can't save it. Like they have to call a timeout between now and under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and yeah, there is some flexibility in when he uses that. That's a better way to put it. If the Lakers blow this game, is the series done? No, it's not done. I mean, we both said that we would have Houston as the favorites, but teams come back from 0-2 all the time, especially in a neutral site series.
Yeah, and Houston does seem to generally just get worse as series go along, whether that's the fatigue level, whether it's teams getting used to their weird offensive and defensive styles. That has generally been the pattern for these guys.
If Houston loses, do they fire Mike D'Antoni? Do they ship Russell? What coach and player should replace them? I think Mike D'Antoni I don't know whether he's going to come back, but I don't know that it's necessarily the Rockets. It's not entirely their decision because he is a coaching free agent after this year. And with Russell Westbrook, I mean, I think of him as a pretty negative value contract. I don't know what trading him means. It's not like the Rockets are an asset-rich team. They haven't been able to develop young talent really at all. I mean, they got Daniel House off the scrap heap, and Morey does a great job finding guys, but it's hard to trade those types of players. So I don't really even know what a Russell Westbrook trade would look like. Incidentally, Chris Paul, much more tradable than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, so we'll see if Tucker comes back. Harden is on 30 minutes, and there's 9:48 left. Are they going to get him to 40? I mean, if they stick with Russell Westbrook out there and no Tucker or Harden, this game might be over in another 4 possessions.
We can take a minute for this one. From Macarena 320, how would you assess a potential, although unlikely, Rockets versus Nuggets series? I mean, the Rockets' idea of switching to create a lot of isolation ball on a team with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic would be absolutely fascinating. Like, we've seen Jokic kind of I always think of Yusuf Nurkic because that national TV game that the Blazers played against the Rockets kind of when they went to this system. So that would be interesting. And then so Gary Harris and Jeremy Grant are the primary guys on Harden in that series.
Yeah, Harris would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
And they might try and put Harris on Gordon instead.
From Ross Ulrich, championship prediction this minute, Clippers.
Yep. Not particularly close, actually, I would say.
Yeah, and I think things are breaking very well for them at the moment.
All right, so Harden and PJ Tucker are both back. And we'll see whether Westbrook is still in the game. I would not have him in there, let's say. Rondo has the matchup on Harden. I would go into the post here with Harden, and they actually looks like they're in the zone. 1-2-2, and now they're trying to match up out of it, maybe? Oh, no, this might be a box and one, actually, on Harden. Here's Westbrook. Oh, James comes and gets him. James blocked him twice in very emphatic fashion in game one, and he gets him again here.
And Russell Westbrook has a lot of fast-moving plays. Sometimes if he's trying to shuffle around a guy, it can take a little bit of time. LeBron read that beautifully.
Yeah, Westbrook does remain in the game. Difficult inbound here deep in the corner. Oh, House missed Covington wide open. Instead, he'll drive. LeBron with another effective contest. They want to push it down. LeBron, he's got Caruso. Easy layup. The Lakers starting to eat on fast break situations. They're back up 6.
Well, and remember, they ran on half of their live rebounds in the first half.
Harden switched onto by Caruso. He'll take the drive. Oh, he had House underneath. Instead, he'll find Covington on the easy layup. Markieff Morris pushing it ahead. Bounce pass. Live. Rebound.
Running after a made shot.
That was a great pass from Markieff Morris to get it out of the net early. 10-2 run. It's been a disastrous start to the quarter for the Rockets. Harden against Caruso. Let's see if he tries to get the step back here. Nice pass to House. Lets Kuzma fly by. Big shot. They need it. Westbrook on the rebound. He missed Covington wide open. Now he crosses over into 3 guys. Loses it. James on the drive, and he's run into by Covington. Terrible from Westbrook. He got a great offensive rebound. He had Covington wide open at the 3-point line and decided to just drive it into 4 guys instead. Sorry, I undercounted when I first said 3 guys.
Yeah, it was 4, and Robert Covington with the Euro foul. But that you can argue it's a smarter Euro foul than most, because not only did it stop the fast break, but it got LeBron off the floor. He's probably going to get. I think he's probably going to get about 2 minutes here.
Yeah, now that they've restored order a little bit, I think Vogel feels more comfortable making sure he's fresh for the stretch run. Yeah, we have not seen the crazy minute totals for LeBron yet, but they haven't been really put into great difficulty the way they were, as House gets a nice hand on that pass from Caruso. They're not putting into difficulty the way they were in 2018 with Cleveland, his last playoff run. Harden against KCP. Lakers trying to zone up behind the play. See AD underneath. Now it's Tucker on the drive. Back to Westbrook. He'll take another terrible 3. Not being guarded. Kills him again. They got to get him out of the game. He's awful right now.
And that one was more terrible in terms of the overall offense than Russell Westbrook's shot selection. But yeah, not great. And that's a defense. Is that PJ?
It is. Is that his 4th?
I believe that is his 4th. Yes, it is. So 4 is not catastrophic here, but it puts you into difficulty.
Eric Gordon is back. Westbrook will take a seat on the bench, much to the relief of Rockets fans. Only 3 more years left on that contract, Danny.
I think he might pick up that player option.
Here's Davis back to goal against Tucker. Gets the space and hits it, and looks like Tucker might have tweaked his ankle a little bit after that. Not sure what happened to him. Here's Harden on the drive. House, Covington, getting past Morris. Does not want the mid-ranger. House wants the 3. Can't get that. Tucker goes right through Caruso for the rebound and hooks.
Yeah, PJ Tucker went through 3 Lakers, got into position, got that rebound.
Caruso, he traveled, right? No.
I think he lost the ball before he traveled.
AD in the big man pick and roll, missing the jump shot. Harden has done little since he's come back in, but now with Westbrook out, he has a chance. Double team, Gordon, wide open, Tucker's 3. And, I mean, that double team, they're just not rotating quickly enough out of it. And Danny Green, he's got to be on a dead sprint from that double team of Harden to get all the way to the corner. He just kind of jogged back looking for somewhere to go. James was at the scorer's table, and Vogel looking for time here.
So we'll presume his is the under 8 timeout, because otherwise that would be his last one, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can. I need to get a little better on this, but basically, I think if you take a timeout at any point in the quarter, that just becomes your automatic. So they are going to only have one left at this point. But they were already fated to that, so he could, whenever he took it that was going to happen to him regardless.
Let's see. Is the best way for the Lakers to score through Davis or LeBron? I think it's through LeBron creating, but Davis has done really well in this game. I mean, you can look at the overall the 30 points that he has, but LeBron as a passer just creates so much for the Lakers as part of the conceit here is that they have a lot of guys who aren't really good at creating. So I think the overall offense needs to go through him.
Who's a guy you've watched and thought, how does he keep finding a team to sign him? Oh, Rondo was that guy at times.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, sign him at all or sign him for the money that he ends up getting?
Like non-NBA. I mean, I understand why from a character perspective, but like Udonis Haslem he hasn't played in like 3 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, he played, I think, in like the last game of the bubble. When
it just seems to me like you could pay Udonis Haslem a lot more money to be an assistant coach, or just pay him the same money and have him be an assistant coach and have an extra roster spot. And we've seen how magnificent Riley in the front office is with roster spots.
Got a couple of Westbrook questions here. Is Westbrook the worst starter on the Rockets? And is Westbrook the worst contract in the league?
Let's see. I don't think he's the worst starter on the Rockets in most circumstances, but he definitely has the most disaster potential. And is he the worst contract in the league? He really might be. I mean, Wall is tough, but and we don't know what he's going to be coming back off this injury. But Westbrook, I mean, here, I'm gonna pull the numbers on their contracts just so I can make sure that I have it right and we can compare apples to apples. Okay, Russell Westbrook after this season, because this season is functionally over, 3 years, $132.6 million. Jonathan Wall, 3 years, $132 million. Oh, so that's right, because Westbrook's didn't kick in, and they both didn't kick in. Yeah. So would you rather have Russell Westbrook or John Wall, knowing what we know right now?
Oh, you got to say Westbrook. We don't even know if Wall is going to be back. Wall just turned 30. Like,
yeah. Not great to see Giannis in a protective boot, but we'll have to see where things go from here. Yeah, Horford's contract isn't great, but remember that last year is only partially guaranteed, so that makes it a lot comparatively better.
Yeah, and it's also in the 20s, not the 40s.
Right.
All right, we're back here. Critical stretch now, as Vogel got the timeout. Tucker has the matchup on AD, who's been quieter here in the second, and LeBron actually is not coming back in. He's headed to the scorer's table now. They don't switch that screening action for AD. Rondo switched onto by Tucker. Now Covington trying to front AD in the post. Tucker goes off of him. Danny Green in the corner, shuffles his feet, hits the three on Eric Gordon. And that all happened because they were worried a little bit about AD posting up on the strong side. Great pass for Rondo. I think that's his 9th assist. Tucker with the big screen. Harden trying to get downhill. Gets Rondo on his back, into the lane. Gordon getting past Green. Corner is Tucker. He's double teamed. And Danny Green with a nice play. Only 2.3 to work with. Excellent defensive possession by the Lakers, and they got to finish it off here. And LeBron, he's going to take out
KCP.
Yeah. So they're sticking with Markieff Morris instead of KCP right now. And Rondo, of course. 2.3 left. They get it into House. He'll shoot it over LeBron, and it didn't go very far. That's for damn sure. Now LeBron attacking in transition. Back to Rondo. Not a threat out there.
They should give it to LeBron with Covington on him.
I agree. Instead, they want to try and get AD against Harden, it looks like. AD trying to post up, but they're wasting a lot of time. Harden denying him. They get it in. Covington tried for the steal. Underneath, it's Green. Goes up over Tucker. Air ball, but AD puts it away.
Do you give Danny Green an assist on that?
Yeah, and Harden just let AD go right in for that.
But he's such a good defender, Nate.
The fatigue level for Harden. We got an 8-point game. Rondo tried to draw the foul. Harden gets it back. He's looking exhausted right now. Late clock. Wants to step back. AD takes it away. Deep three from Gordon is off. Yeah, James
And
Harden's
this
going to have to do better than that.
and the Rockets, I think they really have about 2 minutes to get back into contact here because the Lakers' defense is strong enough, nor most of the time, that it's going to be really difficult to come back from like 6 down.
AD going for the fader over Tucker, over the backboard.
Oh, God, is that a pigeon? I'm trying to remember what the.
Can Dr. J go get that for us?
I mean, JaVale McGee a couple years ago could have.
I don't know if there's ever been anyone in NBA history who could get the top of the backboard. That is really up there. Isn't that like 15 feet high?
I think I don't. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's anybody who could reliably do it.
Well, Westbrook is back here.
Sorry, Rockets fans.
No way, of course, he was going to remain on the bench. Harden. They want to get actually Rondo off of Harden to get Danny Green on him, which is odd to me. Gordon attacks Rondo, moving past AD, who got a hand on it. Tucker, they need this three badly. Can't get it.
And Markieff Morris just left him wide open, even though AD had the contest.
Yeah, Markieff Morris just hanging out at the three-point line. LeBron, let's see if they go into this like dribble the air out of the ball offense here that they've done a lot in crunch time this season. LeBron going to his right, going through Covington. Covington gets the foul. Scott Foster has the call on the baseline.
And I'm not exactly sure why AD was setting a screen there, considering Covington was the guy they wanted in the first place. Or should have been.
Well, I think because they knew that they weren't going to switch it. They didn't want to get Covington on AD. Let's see if this is a foul or not. Looks pretty damn good. That should be a jump ball, but instead, with no challenge remaining to Mike D'Antoni, remember there was that they did not overturn that Harden charge early on. And LeBron hitting the free throw. So LA looking in pretty decent control here. Caruso is going to replace Rondo, who has played very well.
And Markieff Morris still on the floor for some reason.
Well, he hit 4 3-pointers in the first quarter, Danny.
That's true. I guess that's some reason.
But because he hit those, he is going to at least get guarded in theory. Good pressure here from Green. You wanted to make Harden use every ounce of energy that you can. Gordon with the step-up screen. Harden wants Caruso. Step back. Way short. So a couple of threes here from Houston. Could have brought him back into contact, but the Lakers in very good position now. And LeBron wants to go at Westbrook with the 5 fouls. We'll see if he can be more aggressive defensively now. He is. Set it up. Corner. Markieff Morris. Why is he in the game, Daddy? Why? Caruso with the save. Right back in. Recovered by Green. Still plenty of time. AD on the drive past Tucker, and he lays it in. Huge possession there as the Rockets could not recover the loose ball off the Morris missed three. Now Westbrook. Back to Harden, who again really seems to be out of gas here in the clutch. Shoves off. Vogel can't believe it, and they give up the three.
That was a blatant push-off. I can't believe they didn't call it.
Yeah, he really did extend the arm quite a bit.
Vogel was in perfect position to go berserk because he was on the angle.
I mean, just look at Harden right now. Like, he is so tired, grabbing his shorts, and like that's when he goes to the push-off when he's exhausted.
Well, and that's when Caruso should have cut on him earlier.
Now LeBron looking for Caruso, but really Caruso did not have the understanding of where he needed to get to. I will say James Harden gets more done by taking one step defensively than just about anyone that I've ever seen.
That's true. One step and like waving his hand.
They get it into Westbrook, and I mean Eric Gordon or Westbrook here. Harden just doesn't seem to have it. Rondo is back in.
They should just ball deny Harden here.
Markieff Morris is out. AD trying to force Harden to his right. Help is there at the nail from Rondo. Westbrook not even being guarded. Now they force Westbrook to take the shot, and he bricks it. Nice job by Covington, but it goes right to LeBron.
And I think we're done here. We'll keep doing the game, but I think we're done.
Yeah, I mean, it's very unlikely. I mean, we did see the Bucks come back to tie it down 9 with less than 2 minutes remaining the other day. So
thanks, Jimmy Butler.
Here's LeBron, deep three as they go into the dribble the air out of the ball offense. Ahead, it's Covington going at Caruso. Foul. by Caruso, and Covington has a couple of free throws coming here. And that's
Turnovers,
yeah.
3-shot fouls, but that's a 2-shot foul, but still it was exceedingly fast, which is important.
Yep. And LeBron, I mean, the Lakers have done this. I mean, God, look at this. Look at this, the acreage there for Russell Westbrook. But LeBron, we've seen this before from the Lakers at the end of games, particularly when they're up, of LeBron just dribbling the air out of the ball and then going to the step back without even trying to attack. And I'm all for running the clock down, but at least try something. Try to get to the basket. Try to run any kind of action at all.
Nate, I think you're going to enjoy this. Tim McMahon tweeted back when this happened, LeBron James' bald spot was even with the rim when he caught the lob.
Couple of free throws for Covington. 7-point game. Rockets still, I think they've got 3 possessions left. It is conceivably within their power. They want to get it to AD early here. Double team. AD getting out of it. And Rondo, he knows to run down the time. Now it's LeBron against Gordon. Back to AD in the post against Tucker. Double team coming. AD stripped by Tucker. They throw it back in. Oh, they get the new shot clock. Caruso didn't realize it, though. Now it's Westbrook. He is run into by James. And I don't think this will be free throws, though.
No, that should be their second foul in the last 2 minutes.
You are correct. It will be. They should have put the bonus signal up.
Yeah, and Caruso, remember, that is one of my criticisms, that shouldn't reset the shot clock. Caruso thought it didn't, and so he chucks it up after getting the rebound.
Yeah, a very low foul quarter here. Once again, a isolation for the Lakers at the end of the clock, leading to nowhere. And yeah, LeBron is saying he didn't even touch Westbrook. And he may be right. Big free throws here for Russell Westbrook. Oh, man, he misses them, though. I mean, that could have been, basically 4 points in, 5 total seconds of possession time for the Rockets? But Westbrook will need to hit this free throw as well. Does so.
So instead, it's only a 6-point deficit for the Rockets instead of being 5.
But the Rockets will get 2 more possessions here, but they basically got to hit threes on both of them or some sort of foul or turnover. LeBron running it down. Let's see when they go. They're just going to double team him, force him to pick up his dribble. Way to push him out on the floor. Now they get it to Rondo. He'll attack. He'll take the mid-ranger. Rajon Rondo ices it for the LA Lakers.
Dagger.
2 mid-range jumpers from Rajon Rondo in this. And, I mean, just the defensive effort has just been so much better as Harden gets right to the rim. Another very quick score for the Rockets. Get it into Caruso. They're double teaming Harden in the air. They got to get it across here. Very close. He finally got rid of it. James fakes the pass. Now Caruso. And it's Green in the corner. No foul taking place here. 6-point game. Davis. LeBron on the cut. Time running down. Fadeaway jumper goes down for LeBron over that right shoulder. And a couple of tough mid-rangers as the Lakers run the time down. And with 8 points separating Houston from the lead, I think that will do it for us. We're good to sign off here, right? Are we 8 points, 30 seconds left?
We have to record a full podcast tonight. I think we're fine.
All right, thanks for joining us again. We'll keep you posted. I think the plan for tomorrow is going to be, if Celtics Raptors is close, maybe we'll log on late third, early fourth. Otherwise, we'll keep you posted. We do have a bunch of stuff to do for the official launch of Dunked On Prime as well, so that may have to take priority. We'll talk to y'all sometime soon here, but obviously on Dunked On in a few hours. Till then.